As you can see, we're out on location, and in fact we've brought our cameras to Stockholm in Sweden to meet a band who started as local heroes back in 1982, but who now find themselves prisoners in paradise. The group in question is Europe, and they'll be joining me for the rest of the show to talk about their new album and give us an insight into their current tour. We'll also be taking the opportunity to find out more about the local rock scene with some of Sweden's top young bands like Reptile Smile and Entombed. Yes, this is the show that covers the whole world of heavy rock, from Europe to the Bay Area, from LA Guns to Hanoi Rocks. It's the show that's more than metal. Headbangers Ball. Yes, Europe are tonight's very special guests on Headbangers Ball, and I'm very pleased to welcome all 5 members of the band to MTV. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Now, right now we're in the restaurant of the Globe, and that is the venue for tonight's gig. And as you can see, that's what's going on behind us. There's a sound check going on. So first of all, could you tell us why tonight is such a special gig for you?
Well, it's the hometown, Stockholm. I think it's exciting gig on the tour. Be a lot of people, a lot of friends. It's going to be very exciting.
And have you played here before?
Yeah, not this venue though. Mm-hmm. This is the first time at this venue.
Okay. Now you guys now live in the West Indies, and your album is called Prisoners in Paradise. Why did you sort of use that title? Because Prisoners in Paradise aren't really 2 words that kind of go together. What was that all about?
Kind of a contradiction, right?
It is.
Well, the idea came from the island from the start. We felt like we were prisoners in paradise. It was more like a joke, because there was only one flight going out off the island every week, and of course, lazy rock musician, we missed it. So that's why we call ourselves Prisoners in Paradise. Then we wanted to name the album that, and then I wrote the song, and the song is more about dreams and about life. It's more of a deeper lyric to it.
Now you guys share 2 houses on this beautiful island in the West Indies. How does that work out, in terms of giving each other sort of space? You can answer that one.
Yes. Well, we have a bedroom each, and we try and split the kitchen, and we try to take. What do we do? We kind of share the responsibilities. Monday I clean and do the dishes. And you do what?
I do nothing.
That's right.
I mean, in terms of being on tour together and recording an album, and then actually living together as well, do you not find that you need like space apart from each other?
Yeah, sometimes we get sick and tired of each other, but then we just go off for a few weeks or a month, and then we come back together and write some more songs. I think it's like that in every relationship.
But I suppose living together does work well in the songwriting process, because you've probably got your gear set up, and if you feel inspired, you can just go down and work together.
Yeah, we've done that a lot on this album. We lived in various places, San Francisco, Los Angeles, and we also wrote some stuff in London, Stockholm, Vancouver. And we tried to live together and have rehearsals set up, like you said. Mm-hmm. So anytime, 24 hours a day, we could go down, and if somebody had an idea, we just build on it. It's good to do it that way.
Okay. Well, we'll talk some more in a moment, but right now we've got the title track of your album coming up. This is Europe with Prisoners in Paradise. Europe are still with me on Headbangers Ball, and we're talking about their brand new album, Prisoners in Paradise. Now guys, why did it take 3 years for you to actually bring the album out?
We never had that question. Why did it take 3 years?
Well, actually, we were touring a lot. We did an American tour with the previous album, that is, with Def Leppard in America, and we toured Europe too. And then we did some festivals. We played Milton Keynes in '89, summer '89, with Bon Jovi. What else did we do? We played Chile and Southeast Asia. So there's been a lot of touring in between, and also, of course, we spent more time than ever on writing material.
Do you think that all that touring attributed to the slightly tougher sound that's evident on the album?
Yeah, I think you write more on guitar when you're on the road, and when you write on guitar, I think it's more powerful. You don't carry keyboards around everywhere. You know?
Right.
And sometimes when you write on a keyboard, you know, you get in this melancholic mode. This should be a ballad. You know, that kind of thing. No, it's more guitar based, I think.
Right. Key, perhaps you could talk a little bit about the guitars being more prominent, as Joey was saying. Apparently you used a kind of Q sound system. Could you tell us exactly what that brings out in the music?
That would take ages. But to make it simple, Q sound is like a simulated 4-track, or we're going to call it quadraphonic system thing. We just use it to make the guitars a little bit wider. You can get more stuff into the picture, but the sound picture. Yeah, it's kind of boring. I warned ya. I warned ya.
It's I don't know.
Anyway,
yeah.
Anyway, do you want to finish this off?
No, go ahead.
Okay. Anyway, it was just a way of making the sound broader, since we wanted to have a lot of guitars in there.
Right.
And so we're trying to use this live by project this live by using Joey and Mick playing guitars as well. Some of the songs we have 3 guitars.
And you know, I don't know whether you agree with me, but keyboards can sometimes dilute rock music. Do you actually work together, guitars and keyboards, to find a kind of happy medium?
Yeah, I think we discussed like this when we did the album. We wanted where keyboard really was necessary, we put them in there. And sometimes it's really nice with keyboards, you know, to get a powerful kind of epic.
We didn't want to.
Shut up,
please. Yeah. We did not want to, just because it says a keyboard player in the band, which is me. We didn't want to put him on there just because of that fact. So since I'm a brilliant guitar player as well.
But they do add a lot of texture as well, don't they, in certain songs?
Oh yeah,
Yeah. I believe in when when you write a song, if you write it on keyboard, you should proceed building it around that keyboard. You know? When you write it on guitar, that should be the main thing.
Okay, well, we're going to see some more music now, and actually we're going to see another band that formed in Sweden but then moved to LA to find fame and fortune, and they've got the second album out right now. It's Shotgun Messiah, and this is a track called Heartbreak Boulevard. And from LA back to Sweden, we're still in the globe in Stockholm with our special guest tonight, Europe, and we're going to talk some more about the album. Now, Joey, I come to you here. A lot of the lyrics seem to be influenced or inspired by people and places.
Yeah, it is. Since we became a world band, we moved out of Sweden 4 years ago, and we lived pretty much everywhere. And I think what inspired me was people and things that happened around us during this time. Some of the lyrics are more personal now, I think. I think I'm going to move into that area more like a diary.
Now, you actually, there's a song that really caught my eye, and that's A Girl from Lebanon. What inspired you to write that song?
I was in Stockholm 2 weeks in the summer, and I went to this park, and I was stuck on the lyric. I couldn't find an idea. And I wanted to do something different, something maybe controversial. And later on that day, I met some girls from Lebanon. By the way, she was pretty as well. So for the first idea for the song was, but then I thought about what she said to me, that they have a lot of problems there and with religion, and young people want to move out, and I want to write a tribute, so it's a song to her.
Have you ever actually been to that country?
No, I haven't yet.
So was it difficult to try and imagine sort of her point of view?
Yes, but I just wanted to write a tribute. I didn't go out in so deep.
No.
But there were some people in America that wanted to ban the song, and that made me happy, actually. It made me push it on the album even further.
Now, there's quite a contrast on the album. There's a subtle balance between the out-and-out rockers and the kind of a more ballady type songs. I bring John in here, actually, on the end there. John, was that kind of intentional to show 2 different sides to the band?
Well, I think we would always try to be a bit broad, and have ballads and heavy rockers as well.
Okay, well, thanks for that. Now, I guess the choice of producer can say kind of a lot about the band and the direction that they want to go in, and you could have pretty much had any producer in the world, I would imagine. Why did you particularly want to use Bo Hill, and how did he bring out the best in Europe?
First of all, we met several producers, but Bo was the one that showed a lot of interest. He came to a gig we did, and he was really enthusiastic. He came to the rehearsal and said, "Guys, I think you're great. you know, if we can work together, that would be good. If you don't find another guy, I'll be here.
Did it mean a lot to you that he actually came to the gig
Yeah.
and checked you out?
I
Because
think
not
that's-
many of them do that, do they?
No, it's very personal, and he was very humble and saying, if you don't get that guy, because we were talking about different Terry Thomas, Bob Rock, and all those guys. But he was very into it.
And how did he sort of bring out the best in Europe and what you were trying to achieve on the album?
By being just a good friend. He's musical, he's a good friend, and we had a good atmosphere in the studio. Instead of arguing about ideas, whether it's right or wrong to do them, we tried everything. And that's a lot quicker and more creative, I think.
It must have been great to actually have the luxury of time in the studio to kind of experiment like that.
Yeah, but we do, as always, we prepare ourselves very good before we go into the studio. We had 30 song ideas before we went in, rehearsed and everything.
So Key, how long did you spend in pre-production?
I don't remember. That was a long time ago. Many years later.
Was it really that you were completely ready just to go in and just put the tracks down?
Yeah, the way we worked was actually pretty cool. We spent a lot of time in, well, of course, songwriting, but in the pre-production, we also spent a lot of time with Bo with us, rehearsing with us, and here came suggestions. And
Right.
we told them to get lost and play it the same way anyway. And but after we went through all that, we finally had the album. Then we just went in and recorded it. So how long did we spend in the studio actually?
3.
3, yeah. Whatever, we don't
Three.
know.
3.
Three.
We're not going to say
Miles, maybe.
miles, days, stones.
Yeah, stones.
But it was pretty quick.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we've got lots more from Europe coming up shortly. We're going to be talking some more, loads more Europe videos, and also we're going to see them playing live a little later in the show. So stick around, we're going to take another commercial break, and then we'll be back with more from Europe. Hi, welcome back to Headbangers Ball, coming to you from Stockholm in Sweden with very special guests, Europe. Now, the sound check is underway, but nevertheless, 3/5 of the band are still sticking around to talk, and I've got Joey, Key and Mick still with me, and we're going to talk some more about the album. Now, Joey, I guess in the beginning you had European influences. Have any of you found that you've been influenced by other things like American bands, for example?
I think we were influenced by American bands also in the beginning, like maybe Aerosmith, Kansas, Journey, but mostly it was Thin Lizzy, Rainbow, UFO, Deep Purple. But lately, I mean, we listen to a wide variety of music, I think. There's a lot of good things out now, too.
Now, Key, you used to be in a band, another Swedish band called Easy Action. And I don't actually know very much about them, but it sounds quite sort of glammy name. What sort of band were they?
Yeah, it was kind of glammy actually.
The truth comes out.
Yeah, that was kind of glammy. The first album we did anyway. We did 2 albums. The second one was kind of less glammy.
And how did you come to join Europe? Were you just like a known Swedish musician?
Yeah, and I knew the guys since a long time, and me and Joe did a thing together in 1985 called Swedish Metal Aid.
Right.
That was one of those Ethiopian benefit things. A single that Joey wrote and I produced. And that's when we discovered that it was kind of fun to work together. At least he thought so.
And how about you,
was
Mick?
great.
What was your previous musical experience before joining Europe?
I just played in a local band in Upplands Väsby, which is sort of suburb where we all come from, except for Key here. So me and Joe, we went to the same school, and me and John as well. So we all knew each other since we were really small. And 1984, they needed a keyboard player on the tour after Wings of Tomorrow. So they asked me to join, and yes.
So I guess you've got the best of both worlds, really, playing keyboards and guitar as well. Do you sort of work and songwriting on the guitar with the band?
Yeah, I write both on keyboards and guitar. So it's good. It's good to.
At the same time.
Yeah, I just gonna go back a little bit to about Key when he played in Easy Action.
Oh yes, please.
The picture and
Let's have the scandal.
in his old passport. I mean, it happened that people didn't believe it was him actually because it looked so different. I mean, black spiky hair all over, mascara like that on his eyes.
We know the truth now. Now, Joey, you actually worked with outside songwriters for the first time on Prisoners in Paradise. Why did you decide to do that?
Yeah, why indeed? No, it was.
That's the truth.
Truth comes out. It was inspiring and something that I wanted to try. And also, during these 4 years we've been traveling and everything, it's been pretty hard sometimes to get ideas. And I wrote a lot with a band, and I tried some with outside writers. I don't know if I'm going to continue doing that, but I know that I probably learned a lot from it.
Right.
But I prefer writing by myself or with the band.
Must be quite difficult if you don't actually know somebody personally, just to kind of sit down and try and write a song. I can't imagine what it would be like.
First time, I just said to this guy, listen, I've never done this before. I'm supposed to give away my ego now and listen to your ideas, so you have to, bear with me.
Right.
So we just said, okay, let's just do it for fun, and we just went in and we did a song. And,
Great.
But it was fun, though. I really enjoy. These guys were very nice.
Okay. Well, we're going to see one of those songs now that was co-written actually by a young Englishman called Nick Graham. And this is Europe's current single, I'll Cry For You. So that was Europe's current single, I'll Cry For You. And Joey, Key and Mick are still with me, believe it or not. Now, guys, I think it would be fair to say that Europe's music is a certain format. Do you feel... do you have a need to kind of satisfy yourselves completely as musicians by doing something outside of Europe? Would you like to try something different?
Yeah, eventually I think it would be great if Europe, we stick together forever, but I think we should leave it open to do things in between. I don't think we have any concrete plans right now, but I wouldn't mind doing maybe something completely off and then get back to it just to get new inspiration.
How about you, Key? Is there anything that you'd really like to go and do, just as an outside project?
Yeah, I think all of us have been thinking in terms of that, just for fun to do something. But I think the main thing is that Europe is still there, and we can go back and do the touring and the recordings. I think everybody eventually, or the most of us, are gonna do like maybe solo projects and stuff like that on the side. But it would be great to always have Europe there, in the back and do
Of course.
tours.
Now, I want to talk to you about that song. You know what I'm going to say? The Final Countdown. That song. Like whenever I speak to Extreme, they always say that ballad, and they know exactly what I'm talking about. Now, that really was your breakthrough hit. How do you feel about The Final Countdown now, in kind of hindsight? Actually, start up that end with Mick.
Yeah, say something.
Believe it or not, it's still really fun to play live.
Of course.
It is, and I'm still nervous to sort of get the right notes.
This is quite complicated. That
it's not very
famous
complicated, but
keyboard
still, it's
intro.
like you've got to do it right. But I mean, we usually say it's the best thing and the worst thing that happened to us, because it was good because we got internationally recognized, and it was #1 in, I don't know, close to 30 countries, I think. But I mean, we're always going to be compared to that success we had, and I think that we're more an album band than a sort of top 10 band.
Of course.
And we just that's the answer.
That's a good answer. Thanks for that.
Thank you.
Now,
Thank you.
you've actually, Joey, you've actually been working with your old guitarist, John Norum, haven't you? What have you been up to with him?
Well, we talked on the phone because it was like 3 years ago or 4 years ago we broke up, and we just wanted to get everything out and talk to each other. So I went over to Los Angeles had dinner with him. We had a great time, and then he said, "Do you want to sing some of my songs?" He's doing a solo album. So I sang. I helped him on some lyrics because the music was already there. I sang a little bit on a song called "We'll Be Strong."
Great. Well, we can count for that. And actually, right now, we're going to take a look at John Norum on video. This is from his solo project, and it's Back on the Streets.
Who paid for the dinner?
Now here at Headbangers Ball, we really do like you, the viewers, to get involved, and as you know, we've got such features as the Triple Thrash Treat and the Metal Collection, where you can choose the videos and have your say what we play. And as you may have noticed in the past, we also like you to write in with questions for your favourite bands, and we've got some viewers' questions coming up now, and these come from Emma Jones from Wiltshire, and apparently Emma has been a fan of the band for 6 years. She's really keen to meet them, and just so you know, Emma, here's the card you sent in, so they've seen it. Now, actually what Emma wanted to know was you have a fan club in San Francisco. You can find the address on the album cover. Have you any intentions to make a European fan club happen, either in Europe or Britain?
Yeah, we've talked about it because you mentioned that, and she mentioned that it's hard to sometimes for Europeans to write to America. Maybe the language, or maybe it's far away or whatever. It takes a long time. So maybe that could be something for the future. Now that we know that people have problems with it.
Good. That's one way of finding out, anyway. And actually, she also wants to know, actually, Mika, if I could ask you, do you have any say in which singles are released from the album?
Yeah, we sort of have a say in it, yes, but I mean, sometimes we leave it up to the record company to sort of, for example, it might sometimes fit in with their marketing strategy better if we release, for example, a ballad.
Marketing strategy? That word sucks.
And what other singles are you planning to release from the album?
Well, in Europe, except for UK, we have released Prisoners in Paradise as the first single, and now I'll Cry For You is out. And we haven't decided yet what comes after that, but I would say All or Nothing, maybe. Halfway to Heaven might be a good choice.
So we'll look out for those. And actually, it's just stopped now, just I'm coming to mention it, but there is actually the sound check going on in the background, so if you can hear the drums, that's what's happening. We're right in the thick of it here. And very quickly, everybody, all the bands we speak to, they say European audiences are the best in the world. Would you agree with that?
Yes, absolutely. I know, it's great. Touring Europe is very special. It's a good audience. They're loyal, they scream, they're very good.
Do you think they pay more attention to the lyrics and the music rather than the image? Perhaps Key, you could answer that.
You have to delegate.
That's what I heard.
Delegate.
Yeah, I suppose so. Yeah, the really true fans knows a lot about what's going on.
Right. And they really stick with the band for years and years, don't they?
Yeah, we like that. That's great to have fans like that.
Okay. Well, actually, going back to our viewer, Emma Jones in Wiltshire, I have spoken to the guys, and they are going to supply you with 2 backstage passes for the gig in Newport that you wanted to go to. So there you go. Headbangers has fixed it for you. And thanks for organising that. And we're going to take another short break now. And after that, we'll be meeting up with Europe's support band, top German rockers, Pink Cream 69. Hope you enjoyed that edition of the Triple Thrash Treat, chosen for you by Entombed, and a great choice of videos too. Anyway, I'm back with Europe.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. And as you can see, the sound check, as you can hear, actually, I should say, the sound check is progressing. John
and Ian.
banging away there. Well, that sounds a bit rude, doesn't it, actually?
Banging away.
Anyway.
Saying quite strange things today, actually. I'm not going to repeat them.
Thanks. Now, that we were saying right at the beginning of the show, you're off living in the West Indies, but is there anything that you actually miss about Sweden? And I think I'm going to ask this question to all three of you, so we can find out if there's anything missable about Sweden.
Well, we grew up here, and 25 years we lived here, and I just miss family and friends, and sometimes creatively it's good to be here, since you know your way around.
Is there any kind of food that you miss, Key?
Yeah, all sorts of. I mean, when we spend a lot of time together, abroad, like on the island or in San Francisco, we wrote some of the songs. Sweden gets like ridiculously glorified by us all. It's like we miss all the food and we miss everything. But mainly, what I miss would probably be Swedish lager. I kind of prefer that.
And what about you, Mick?
Apart from what everybody else has been saying, I miss the Four Seasons actually.
Oh right, yeah.
Yeah, because it's pretty nice.
And I guess it's quite nice to come back to a relaxed atmosphere. When you did the album in LA, didn't you? And I'm sure you'll agree with me. It's such a competitive atmosphere, and I don't know. Sometimes it's good to take a step back from rock and roll.
You have to get out of that place after a while. We found that it was not very. It was good to be prepared before we got there. I don't believe in writing an album there because it's too many bands sounding the same way, so I don't think it's the right place if you want to be unique, if you want to have your own thing. So we had to get out of there. But it's good to come back here. It's good to be on tour here and back home. We also have a song on the album called Homeland.
I was just about to ask you about that, actually.
Yeah, we were sitting one night and we had the same house in San Francisco, and we started drinking some beer and talking about good old Sweden and
reminiscing.
Yeah, and we came up with this idea for Homeland, which is a good song actually on the new album.
Excellent. And I was wondering, what do you think it is about Europe that enabled you to kind of break out of Sweden and actually make it internationally? Do you think it was something as simple as good songs, or being in the right place at the right time, or timing? I mean, how did you do it?
Oh, I don't know. It was a strong focus though. Ever since we were in school, or when I was sitting in school, I was practicing lyrics, autographs, and just instead of listening to the teacher, I was like more dreaming of a future as a band member and having a band. And since then, we just worked on very hard. I don't know. I think it's down to the songs. In the end of the day, it's the songs, that counts. But very hard work, and I don't know. You have to ask the others too. I don't know what's just if it's something special. I don't know.
You're
I
too
think
modest.
you just said it.
Something special. I mean, Keith, all the bands that we've been talking to today say that the rock scene isn't very active in Sweden. How did you guys first get turned on to rock music when you were young?
Well, I guess I just started to listen to a lot of British bands. And that's where the music interest started, like Deep Purple, and especially for me, Deep Purple.
Right.
But I wouldn't totally agree on that with the music scene. I mean, when we were like starting off bands in Stockholm, well, Europe already existed, but I started off Easy Action. There was some rock clubs that you can hang at, and you can meet people.
No, I think this situation has deteriorated quite badly since then, because a lot of the bands said there's hardly anywhere to play.
The problem we had then was that you guys should sing in Swedish, they told us. We said, we can't do that. So the record companies actually asked us, okay, you're a very good band, but could you please sing in Swedish? And we said, no, we don't want to do that. So we kept on going, and we were lucky. We entered this rock contest, and we won it. And we sang in English. We had long hair, and it was hard rock, and I think it was a shock to a lot of people in the business and older people that something like this would break through in good old conservative Sweden, But the kids loved it, so it kind of exploded here, and since then, I think Europe was good for this.
Yeah, you've opened quite a few doors, I think.
So in that way, it's good, very good.
Okay, well, we'll talk some more, but right now we've got some more music coming up as the Headbangers Ball from Stockholm, Sweden continues. Right now, Headbangers Ball brings you backstage with Europe because the final countdown is on for tonight's gig at the Globe in Stockholm. And as we were saying earlier, it's a very special gig for them because it's their hometown. And actually, Joey's over here. He's been warming up his voice. And a little earlier, we were talking about the kind of things that helped you to break out of Sweden, and I'm sure one of those things was your live show. And in view of that, would you ever consider releasing a live album?
Yeah, that would be great. We recorded some already on this tour, and we're going to record some tonight, I think, and in Switzerland and in England. So hopefully we get some stuff done.
Great. And of course, on he's going mad. And on New Year's Eve, you had another really fantastic gig, didn't you? That was when you played the Tokyo Dome with Metallica. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Tokyo Dome, yeah. We went to Japan on New Year's Eve to play with Tesla, Thunder, and Metallica in Europe. It was great. It was 40,000 people at the Tokyo Dome. It was a brilliant New Year's Eve. We had a great time. It was a big party afterwards. Everybody was out on the streets. We went to the Hard Rock Cafe. We had a blast.
And is tonight even more nerve-wracking than that, if possible?
No, tonight is special. It's great. You know, it's exciting. It's a challenge.
Well, good luck, and we're going to go out onto the stage right now.
Oh, come here.
Okay, here we go. We're walking to the stage for tonight's gig. Any last thoughts?
Yeah, may God help us through these tough times.
Well, I wish you luck tonight. Do you ever have any kind of thoughts of like Spinal Tap when you're doing these long walks to the stage?
Yeah, you can get lost here. It's a big place.
Yeah, hello, Cleveland. Any what's running through your head right now as you're walking up there? Apart from the fact that I'm got a microphone shoved onto your nose.
I don't know actually. I'm just trying to find my way to the stage.
Well, we're nearly there now, and I'm going to wish you the very best of luck.
Right.
And thank you very much for letting us join you in the dressing room and letting us see this insight into your amazing life. Yeah! So good luck.
Oh! Oh! Oh!
Yeah.
Oh, there's a great cheer for you.
What?
Can you hear the cheering?
Yeah, I love it. Here we come. Mom and Dad.
Hi, welcome back to Headbangers Ball, coming to you from Stockholm in Sweden. Just before the commercial break there, you saw Europe playing live here at the Globe in Stockholm. And actually now we're backstage after the gig. There's a party happening, and no doubt you're celebrating. Fantastic gig, well done, brilliant.
I think it's one of the best on the tour. I'm very happy with it. It's a great audience. Stockholm's great.
Great. Great, okay, and have you got any kind of final message that you'd like to give to the fans in Europe?
Well, I hope to see you out there, and you better show up, right?
Yes, and I can recommend that actually because it's a really great show and there's quite a few surprises. I must say I really enjoyed the acoustic set, a really beautiful version of I'll Cry For You. Whose idea was it to do that?
I think it was mine from the start. I don't remember anything right now. I'm completely gone in my head.
He's taking credits for everything, that guy.
Well, Skid Row said to me, if you don't remember anything, it must be really, really good.
Never dreamed that I could fall, but something's come over me. Now I'm sitting staring at the wall, afraid for my sanity. The sound of your voice, the touch of your skin is haunting me, haunting me. I've been searching so long for an answer, but I can't look back, so I'm taking my chances. I wanna give you my heart, give you my soul. I wanna lay in your arms, never let go. Don't wanna live my life without you, but I know when you're gone, like a fire leaves a spark, like a fool in the dark. Honey, I cry for you, cry for you.
Now let's hope that you can remember your metal collection because we have reached the part of the show where we play what you say, usually the viewers, but in fact in this case the metal collection is going to be chosen by our special guests tonight, Europe, and we're going to have a look at some of their favourite videos. So can you remember which ones we've chosen?
Infectious Grooves, Thin Lizzy, and help me out, guys. I don't remember.
It's a band called Europe, I think. Let the Good Times Rock. And there's another one. Yeah, Metallica. I like that. Metallica, The Unforgiven.
Right, so that's what we're going to see right now for Europe's metal collection. This is Metallica with The Unforgiven.